Nice. My name is Brandon.
And I'm Tiffany. Just so you know, we are not professional writers in any way, shape, or form. At least we don't claim to be. We just really like tabletop RPGs, and we do this for fun.
I just had to say that. I'm sure we're not going to linger too long on the episode number.
So, what are we doing today?
We are doing something new. If you actually listen to our 1-year anniversary episode, we've kind of talked about an idea we had, like the early, like super early episode, which kind of turned into like Questober, where we focused on a monster specifically, like we did with the it ain't over until it's Clover episode,
right,
where we focused on Leprechaun, and then we made a posting based off of that. And so we want to see if we could make something like that as a regular possible thing.
And if it works, you're listening to right now, so it worked.
Well, this is our test episode to see if, like, afterwards we feel good about it, or if people actually like this.
Well, if we don't feel good about it, it's probably not going out then.
Yeah. Well, no. We'll probably still go out. I think. I
feel good about most of our episodes.
Most?
In pot.
Yeah. But we still released that one.
Yeah, that was hard. That was rough.
And so we're going to try to make a quest out of a monster. We chose 5th edition because that's what we know best.
We're going to start with 5th edition. We may branch out into other bestiaries from other...
I do have the Pathfinder bestiary.
Yeah.
Pathfinder 2nd edition.
Right.
And I don't know. We could try to branch out to different ones.
Mm-hmm.
But the way we're going to do this, because we still want to do random. We've always done random on this podcast.
Gotta roll them dice.
I currently have the table of contents open on the regular monster manual for 5th edition. And which Tiffany here is going to roll a D4 for the 100 slot and then a D100 for what's in it.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if we actually get something.
All right. So I'll start with the D4. Got a 2.
Okay, so that is...
the 100 to 200 section.
Yep.
For the D100, 30.
So 130.
Oh, wait, no. That's 3. I got it wrong. I did it backwards. I rolled a 00 and a 3.
You know, before we record this podcast, I was like, you know how many like dragons there are?
Oh, did I roll a dragon?
Yes, you rolled a dragon.
We're making a dragon episode then.
103?
Mm-hmm. 103.
I do want to make a dragon.
We'll make it a different type, like different dragon scenario. What'd we get?
Okay. This is kind of weird. Because there's multiple pages on dragons and all that stuff.
There are a lot of pages.
Specifically 103 is the remaining like effects or text that talks about like a white dragon's lair.
Okay.
And then the beginning text that describes metallic dragons in general.
I think we should go with whatever starts. Oh, it's just talking about metallic dragons.
No, the white dragon lair.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like
so
two
whatever
columns.
Starts on that page.
There's 2 columns. The left column is talking about like the lair actions and regional effects of a white dragon lair. And then the right column is metallic dragons.
Why do dragons have to be so complicated? Do I need to roll again? Or do you want me just to re-roll the D4?
I really don't know. Do we restart this podcast? I don't know.
We've never run into this sort of situation. Why does it have to be so complicated?
Oh, man, I love that song.
Just start turning the page until you hit an actual creature.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask, do you want me to go forward or backwards? But then you know what's backwards.
Backwards is the white dragon. We know that. Why don't we just go with the white dragon since we did hit some of its flavor text?
Okay.
So,
on page 102, it's the first stat block.
Right.
Going backwards. White dragon Wyrmling.
All right.
So it's a low level one.
Little baby.
Challenge rating of 2.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to read some of the flavor text. The smallest, least intelligent, and most animalistic of the chromatic dragons, white dragons dwell in frigid climes, featuring Arctic areas or icy mountains. They are vicious, cruel reptiles driven by hunger and greed. A white dragon has feral eyes, a sleek profile, and a spine crest. The scales of a Wyrmling white dragon glistens pure white. As the dragon ages, its sheen disappears. some of its scales begins to darken, so that by the time it's old, it is molded by patches of pale blue and light gray. This pattern helps the dragon blend into the realms of ice and stone in which it hunts, and to fade from view when it soars across the clouded-filled sky. They're primal and vengeful. White dragons lack the cunning and tactics of most other dragons. However, their bestial nature makes them the best hunters among all dragon kind. Singularly. I can't say that for some reason today. Focused on surviving and slaughtering their enemies. A white dragon consumes only food that has been frozen, devouring creatures killed by its breath weapon while they are still stiff and frigid. In cases, other kills in ice and buries them in the snow near its lair, like a fox or dog.
It likes the crunch.
And finding such a larder is a good indication that a white dragon dwells nearby. A white dragon also keeps the body of its greatest enemies as trophies, freezing corpses where it can look upon them and gloat. The remains of giants, reharmonizes, and other dragons are often positioned promptly within the dragon's lairs as warning to intruders. Though only moderately intelligent, white dragons have extraordinary memories. They recall every slight and defeat, have known to conduct malicious vendettas against creatures that have offended them. This often includes silver dragons, which lair in the same territories as white dragons.
So I'm looking at the stat block for the white dragon Wyrmling, and this thing ain't smart. The intelligence is a 5.
Yeah, but okay.
So
if I look up the more adult ones,
we landed on the baby.
Yes, I'm gonna say, but the intelligence for an ancient white dragon
Yeah.
is a 10.
Okay, that's
super low for an ancient dragon.
Yeah, that's
They're
still along the
equivalent
lines
to a
of
commoner.
bite first and ask questions later.
Yeah.
So this thing's gonna be, it's probably gonna be defensive, most likely. Like if the players come across it, it's gonna fight first, and if they try to talk to it, well, it only understands Draconic, so it's not gonna really respond unless they speak to it in Draconic, and even then, it might still bite.
True. But okay, what kind of quest are we doing that revolves around a white dragon Wyrmling?
Maybe it wandered out of its mother's lair and has been tormenting a nearby village. And the quest is that some of their livestock has gone missing.
Then it would be just a simple go hunt it, kill it.
Kill it or take it back to its mother, which would be extremely dangerous because the mother is probably going to be like, why are you messing with my child?
Well, again, we just talked about how low intelligence is. Bite first, ask questions later.
Exactly. So trying to take it back, it's not going to realize that you're trying to save it.
Unless we actually say this is for a high level party, I don't think like having a Wyrmling, in case it's a low level party, having them do that, because that's just guaranteed death if we follow the actual habits of a white dragon.
This is true, because it would just, once again, as always, bite first and ask questions later. In fact, it wouldn't even ask questions, it would just bite.
And so that's just guaranteed death for a low level party.
Right. So if this is a low level party, they probably just have to kill it. And at that point, I'm sad because it's a baby. Wyrmlings are babies.
I think that's technically, or they're just
more like a teenager, maybe.
I think that would be a young white dragon would be like a teenage, and then it's adult white dragon, then ancient white dragon.
Oh, so it goes Wyrmling, adult,
Wyrmling, young, adult, then ancient.
Okay, so it's a child.
Yeah, it's pretty much a child, like either a toddler to a child, basically. And then a young adult is once you hit teenager.
Yeah. It's not a teenager yet.
Yes. Okay. But still,
it's someone's child.
It's medium.
Yeah, I know. It's the size of a average person, but still a child. So it's gonna throw tantrums. It's gonna probably just want food because it's probably growing pretty fast.
God, it does 5d8 cold damage with its cold breath.
Shoot.
And does 1d10 plus 2 piercing with a bite with cold damage. 1d4 cold damage.
So this thing hurts. I mean, there's a reason it's a challenge 2 all on its own.
Yeah, but I feel like at level 2, that would one-shot like
half
the party.
Probably. But the cold breath has a recharge.
Yeah.
every time you use it, you have to roll a d6, and only on a 5 or a 6 does it recharge.
Yeah. But if you think about anything but barbarian or a fighter that has good constitution, those are the only two at level 2 if it's max health both times that it will survive taking 22 points of damage, which is the average for 5d8. That's a lot.
Uh-huh. Well, it's only a DC 12. I feel like a lot of people could pass that just on the roll itself.
Not the wizard.
Just on the roll itself.
True.
Throwing that out there.
I'm just saying that is a lot.
It's a lot of damage. No, this little guy is tough. So it's definitely going to be like, beef up your characters as much as you can, bring all your best potions, and avoid that cold breath.
Do we want... Okay, so if we're doing just a simple kill...
It could be that, or if you can think of something else, like another reason why somebody would make a quest based around this white dragon Wyrmling.
I'm trying to think of something.
Maybe there's a daycare for unattended dragons, and this one has
Dragon
escaped.
daycare.
Yeah, dragon daycare. And this one has escaped, and they have to go find it and bring it back. And the person who runs daycare tells them, if you give it frozen treats, it won't try to bite you. It won't try to attack you because all it's focused on is food. So as long as you keep feeding it frozen treats, it will follow you back home.
And acts like a cat.
Pretty much. Well, more like a dog.
When you were talking about that, I was thinking about the party feeding it frozen like fish.
Yeah.
And then that just made me think of like acting like a cat and pouncing on like the frozen fish and all that stuff.
Like Toothless and How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, that kind of like approach.
I mean, I'm all for dragons having like cat-like characteristics. I think that's adorable. But also thinking of them having dog-like characteristics too is adorable. So somewhere in between, maybe more fox-like, without the yelling, because foxes tend to yell.
Yeah, foxes act more like dogs based off the YouTube videos I've seen.
Somebody said it really good one time. It's like cat software running on dog hardware.
Well, I've seen cats act like dogs.
Oh, I've seen that too. I've also seen dogs act like cats. I've seen a husky that was raised by cats that loafed. With the whole paws tucked in and everything. It was adorable. And it was floofy enough to make a very good loaf. So, do we want Dragon Daycare, where you got to bring it back? So it's sort of more like an escort mission, but you got to make sure you have plenty of frozen treats.
Okay, I have an idea.
Okay, what?
I don't know if this is canon.
It can be.
I don't think it is.
For those of you listening, he's flipping around in the book.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I just read too much like mangas and all that stuff.
Oh no, the nerd reads too much manga.
I know. Because it's like in anime and all that stuff, it's very common to be like, oh, dragons could transform into humans and all this and that, have a human form.
I do believe I have heard some D&D things where like ancient dragons, or at least adult dragons, have the ability to shapeshift or polymorph into a human or humanoid form.
Yeah, I don't know if according to the book, I don't see anything like that.
Let's just say it happened in Critical Role.
They homebrew a lot of stuff.
True. So we could homebrew a little bit. So you're saying maybe they have the ability to shapeshift at a young age?
So what I was thinking is, not at the young age, but I was going to say, well, God, white dragons aren't that intelligent.
No, we got to keep remembering they're kind of dumb.
Because, okay, the idea that I had before I remembered that they were kind of dumb, or that's insulting to commoners.
Okay, sorry.
They're uneducated.
Yeah. Okay, they're dumb compared to the other dragons.
Yes. My idea was, what happens if an ancient white dragon shifted into a human and basically their child, still in Wyrmling form, got like captured by poachers or like one of those wranglers or like people who sell exotic animals or whatever.
I'm liking
this underground kind of like system. And basically hires or puts a posting for hunting down those said poachers.
Okay.
But then it had like, okay, so if the intelligence is where knows that if the mother does anything, then it's going to create bigger havoc and then possibly lose her child. So it has to hire humans to then save her child.
So she doesn't know what to do to get her child back without causing problems. She's not smart enough to puzzle that out. So she wants to hire the party to get her child back.
Yeah, that was
So-
something along the lines of that.
Mm-hmm.
But one, don't exactly know if they can, and two, I don't know if that's a 10 intelligence kind of thing.
I think calling for help could fall within the 10 intelligence kind of thing. Like they have wisdom too. At least the baby, like the Wyrmling, has a 10 in wisdom.
Of 13.
And it doesn't go up much. Okay.
And let me tell you the stats of an ancient white dragon.
Ancient. Here we go.
26 strength,
Dang.
10 dexterity. Wow.
They are not that limber.
26 constitution,
Not
10
bad.
intelligence,
Mhm.
13 wisdom, and 14 charisma.
Wow. They're more charismatic than they are wise.
I mean, look at those scales. They're so pretty.
They do sound pretty. All right. So I still feel like at least like when the mother shifts into a human, I want to go with that. I like that a lot.
Okay.
I feel like she would be more of a tribal person. She would kind of dress more like she was living out in the wild and kind of thing. And she may have broken common or English or whatever your common is. So like maybe she wouldn't have like the most eloquence. Do they speak common?
Yeah, they did. I
Okay,
just
good.
double checked.
I saw you flip the page.
It's a good question if they actually do speak common.
Yes, that helps. Or maybe they only speak Draconic, and then we have an issue.
That's the Wyrmling.
Yeah, I know.
Only speaks Draconic.
That's the stat block I can see.
Hmm.
Okay, so she speaks broken common. And it's not the greatest, but she's like, child kidnapped, poachers, help. And maybe she went to the nearest I'm forgetting a word for an organization that hires out parties.
Guild.
Thank you. She went to
Adventurers Guild.
Yeah, she went to the Adventurers Guild because she knows that's who all the adventurers work for. And she just goes to them and says, help child kidnapped poachers.
I mean, to be fair, we've always done our podcast where it's job posting that you'll find in a notice board in a tavern.
Local tavern.
Yeah.
So maybe the Adventurers Guild, seeing that this is a very important kind of quest because a child has been kidnapped, sends it out to all the local taverns as well. And this is a guild-funded quest.
What happens if it's like a very small village that's located at the base of a mountain?
Mm-hmm.
The closest human village to the lair,
Mm-hmm.
in which she just goes there and it only has one tavern.
Okay.
And so it's just posted there asking for help.
Right.
Or basically talks to a bartender in which the bartender says, hey, if you want to hire anyone, you could post it here,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. The introduction.
Yes. Yeah.
In a way. And then she posts there. And then that's when the party will see that.
Yeah. They might even see her putting it up.
Or that. Yeah. And then it'll be a case of...
And then I can totally imagine her standing next to the board, waiting for someone to come look at it, just expectantly.
expectingly pissed. I don't know.
Just be like, maybe. Or I
But
had another
then-
thought.
Oh, okay. Sure.
There could have already been a post, like this version has her not going to the tavern, not communicating with humans or humanoids in any way. This is you meet her later because you've taken on a quest to catch some poachers. And while you're tracking them, you find her and she asks for your help because the poachers have taken her child.
Okay, so if we do that, where the posting will be about something else, where
Mhm.
it's just like hunt down poachers.
Yeah, because that's a common thing. Nobody wants poachers.
And when they're out in the wilderness hunting the poachers.
They only poach poultry.
That's the phase chicken episode. I think that was it's called phase chickens.
Editing Brandon, please tell us the episode number now.
No, that's editing Tiffany. You could do that for your markings on YouTube.
Ah, fine, whatever.
If while they're in the like searching, maybe after like one or two battles with poachers,
Mm-hmm.
they hear a giant roar, and then they overhead see an ancient white dragon
Mm-hmm.
that lands and like is very like furious and all that stuff, and yells in common about
Where's my baby?
that kind of thing, and then the party can talk their way out.
Yeah. Yeah, they could probably talk their way out and be like, hey, we're not poachers. That was those guys over there.
Yeah, you could roll for it, but
You-
multiple people roll, and then you say, "Oh, that highest one passes."
Well, it's like, you got to convince her that you're not the poachers at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was thinking you meet up with her beforehand while you're both stalking them.
And so then it could be a chance of we'll work together, or we'll go take care of it and we'll bring your child home. Please don't ravish the countryside.
Yeah.
So it's either that, I'm sure it'll be whatever the party decides.
Right.
Or do you want to decide if...
I still like the idea of her being in human form, because when they first meet her, thinking, oh, she's a human. Why have these poachers taken her child, and just being a little confused about that until they find out that the child is a baby dragon, and then she goes full dragon and smashes someone.
Okay. Well,
or maybe she like overhears them talking one night around the campfire and just kind of like, shows herself and be like, I want to join you. I want to help you catch these evil poachers. They've taken my child.
you are definitely hanging on to the anime.
I am, yes. No, I like it.
I was like trying to think of, based off of the book here that
Okay.
doesn't say that. That's why I was trying to think of like that. But yeah, that could work if you want to homebrew that version. And
Yes.
we're kind of going on parallel right now, of like either in dragon form or human.
Okay, so if you want to homebrew that ancient dragons can shapeshift, then they can meet her beforehand and go wreck face later.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to add in that homebrew rule, then she can show up while the party is dealing with the poachers and start to wreck, but then if you can talk her out of it, maybe she won't wreck.
Oh, it'll be cool if it's actually in the middle of a fight that she descends down and
That
then
would be
like starts
cool.
killing God, why do I keep saying that? Poachers.
The name of the poacher
They're
group is
poltergeist poachers. There's ghost poachers.
Ghost Poachers. Who are you gonna call?
Not them. God.
Angry Mother.
Actually, wait, is it poltergeist ghosts that are poachers that like still hunt animals, or is it hunters that only collect poltergeists?
Well, then why would they take the baby dragon?
No, I'm just making like going off of that stupid joke of me saying that.
That's actually a good question.
A poltergeist poacher, what is that? Leave your comments down below what you think it is.
And here's my other one. If they're poultry poachers, are they all Aarakocras that look like chickens?
Or they only hunt ghost chickens.
Oh, man.
Chickens that are already dead.
At that point, what's the point? You can't even get good nuggets out of those.
Well, do they still have life essence if they're ghosts?
I mean, maybe.
Side note, there's no ghost of animals because the concept is animals don't have souls, so there's no ghost versions of them.
In D&D, no.
I don't know. I don't know the whole belief system on that for our world.
No, I'm not even versed in that myself.
Anyway, stupid tangent over. So then it'll be a case of, okay, underground poaching market.
Yeah.
Oh, the party could find that they sold it to a fighting ring.
Ooh.
Animal fighting ring.
That's mean.
That's a classic.
Yeah. And so they're probably going to keep it
Maybe
like, clip its
located in
wings
the
and...
closest. No, they'll be they bind the wing, so it's like bind it on its back.
Okay.
But it'll be in the closest like larger city.
All right.
They'll find that it got smuggled in
Mm-hmm.
somehow. That's up for the DM to determine.
Right.
And so then either convince the dragon to stay in the forest, or human form could easily come in.
Yeah.
Then they discover the underground fighting ring, and then they have to break up an underground fighting ring.
That's fun.
That's either stealth or brute force.
Mm-hmm.
That's up to the party.
Yep. So either they join in the ring and like fight a little bit.
If they want to do a couple betting things or anything like that,
Maybe
get some
just,
money first and then
worm their way in and then destroy everything. Or just go in and start releasing all the fighters and everything.
Well, that's when you do it stealth. It's really stealth or brute
right.
force.
And at that point, just let the players decide and kind of roll with it from there.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think we should. Dragons don't normally have names. They don't care. And usually white dragons are so isolated that they don't even
I
bother.
think the ancient one might have a name, but I don't know
you
how to
want to
go.
look up a dragon name?
Breldress the White One is the first one that came up. Or, oh, here, I like this one better. Frildrodig ice breath. They all have a like comma descriptor.
Frildrodig.
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 It's Frydrodig. And you can just call her Frail for short.
Okay.
It's like usually with like dragon wyrmlings or baby dragons and things, they haven't earned their name yet, or they haven't discovered their name. Like they'll know their name once they get to a certain age. So the baby doesn't have a name.
Okay. Sure, let's go with that kind of lore.
Mm-hmm.
So, to sum it up, unless we have anything else to add,
No, I think we pretty much got it.
the events go as follow. Actually, first, what are we going to say, like wording wise, for the posting that the party will actually accept?
Wanted poachers. A certain amount of gold, insert number here, for every poacher brought in.
Okay. I mean,
It can be simple like that. Just go hunt the poachers.
true, I know. Paying 10 gold per poacher head,
Yeah.
just head collecting kind of thing. I don't know.
At that point though, you need some sort of descriptor that can point out the poachers to you. It could be like a poaching ring and they've all got some sort of insignia that they wear, or a tattoo maybe. And you just need to bring in
The cutout, like,
the cut off
flash
tattoo.
of
That's
the
gross.
tattoo.
I was thinking insignias
Or
that
that.
they wear on their clothes, so you can just bring that along with the heads maybe.
But then, God, why is my first thought? Okay, then I would just
Okay, I got one.
basically, as a poacher, gather up a bunch of insignia and just like, I killed them. Yes.
So here is my solution. Their tattoo is all behind their left ear. They keep it hidden behind their left ear. So if you bring the head in, tattoo's attached.
Okay, I thought you were saying on the ear, so then they do what, like, in the
Oh,
anime
cut
where
the
you
ears
cut
off?
the ear off, so it's
No,
just...
no. It's like on their neck, right behind the ear.
Oh, okay.
Because I've seen people with tattoos there.
Yeah,
and-
I mean, that's bony. That's gotta hurt.
Not like directly behind the ear, just this bit of like skin.
Oh,
and
at the
muscle right here.
base of the skull, like
Yeah,
right
right at the-
below the skull?
Yeah, kind of where like it
It's
shifts
more
from skull
fleshy.
to neck in that area.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So they all have their tattoos there. So it's easy just to cut their heads off and be like, all right, I got a bunch.
Yeah, and that proves that they're dead.
Or if you really want it to be the ears, they'll all have a certain earring or something and just cut the ear off and bring that in.
But then you could just take off the ear, or the earring.
True.
Also, then you could just kill a bunch of innocent people and stick that in their ear.
Okay, fine. Yeah, no, I'm liking the tattoo idea better. Or how about they all have a
This
face
is really
tattoo?
dark, but this is like the first thing I thought of, like
trying to
loopholes
discuss. Yeah.
of like, oh, I like a
Maybe
poacher
they've got
could
a
make like
face tattoo.
the Mike Tyson face tattoo.
Yeah, there you go. They've all got Mike Tyson's tattoo.
No, I think hidden behind the ear is a good idea.
Okay, because then they can wear a hat and blend in with normal
Or-
society.
Long hair.
Yeah, they can
Yeah.
hide it, and like their way of showing each other like is like
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
okay.
So a poster saying willing to pay for a certain price per head of poachers in
Mhm.
the area.
Must
Party takes
verify with tattoo.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't. So don't burn them to death.
I think that's better encouragement for them
Yeah.
to not burn them.
Mm-hmm.
Party hunts down. Maybe in a fight or after a few fights, the mother ancient white dragon will come down either in a human form or in a dragon form.
Mm-hmm.
Say that her child has been taken by the poachers and needs rescue and all that stuff. So more of a good deed for the party.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. And
mean-
lawful.
It's already a good deed hunting down poachers.
Sure, but that could be an evil thing of just I'm in it for the money and to kill and give money for it.
True, but they're killing bad guys. Anyway.
Yeah, whatever it is.
And so in the process of taking out the poachers, they
They-
find out the baby's been sold to an illegal
They find
fight
that
ring.
these poachers have a contact within the nearest large city,
Mm-hmm.
and going over there to investigate, find out that a Wyrmling was recently taken and was sold, maybe through like ledgers, bribery, killing them, and then finding ledgers, whatever. Somehow found out that the Wyrmling was sold to a underground fighting ring within the city. Then they investigate, stealth, brute force, get the kid out.
Mm-hmm.
As long as the Wyrmling is able to fly, I'm sure that a sun flying Wyrmling in the city, it'll be too much on the guards and will be able to fly out, or they have to smuggle Wyrmling out.
Or mama just transforms back and flies baby out. Or they get the baby up to a roof and the mom just swoops in. I know no one can see my hand motion, but like swoops in and grabs the baby.
It's like the Bat in the Dark Knight movie where it's that reverse. No, they abduct a guy in China where he like attaches a thing and then there's like a huge lineup and then the airplane grabs it and then that's how they like abduct him.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Ah, that's
I need to watch it again.
it's like that, but with a baby and an adult or ancient dragon. Sure. As a reward, the dragon will award one piece from its treasure trove.
Ooh, each or
depends on the level of the group.
Okay. If it's a higher level, this could be a good chance to give all of them fun magical items.
Mm-hmm.
So the dragons will be like, for your bravery, I will give each of you one item from my trove.
Or they could be so vain as like, my trove is so good that you get only one for everyone because it's that great.
You get a share.
Yeah. Or just gold from the treasure trove.
Caution, it's cold.
It's like touching it. It's like touching
dry ice.
I was gonna say a metal that's like been dipped into liquid nitrogen.
Yeah, just don't stick your tongue to it.
Like a pole.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's pretty much a solid quest based off of us rolling a random monster.
And getting a dragon like you didn't want.
I didn't want a dragon. Because we did one like last episode. So if you like that and you put that in your campaign, we do have 2 social medias. One is Twitter at QuestBoardPod. The other one is on YouTube. If you put this into your campaign, let us know how it went, any mishaps or whatever route you took about either dragon form or human form. We would love to hear about it. Either tweet at us or say something down in the comments. And if you have a job posting of your own, or if you actually like this actual format, be sure to let us know on those social medias as well.
Also, tell us your favorite monster.
Yeah, maybe we'll compile a list of like monsters from different systems. It could be any system you want. Just please specify which one.
Yes. Tell us your favorite monster and what RPG system it's from.
Yeah, and we might make a list of that and we'll roll off of that.
That'd be much easier than going out of the book.
Maybe. I think with that, I wish you all a good night.
And happy questing.